Autism, very near and dear to me, man. My son was diagnosed when he was about 6 to 8 months with autism, and always kudos to my wife for moving so swiftly on moving on that, getting the resources, staying on top of everything. It was a hard pill to swallow in the beginning, as a man, as a father, first kid, you know what I mean? Not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing if he's going to have the same life as any other kid. But
Hmm.
10 years now, he is doing tremendous. Real
Absolutely.
kudos to all the therapists, all the teachers, all the family support, all of the friends we met along the way that gave us support, gave us knowledge, and now we're able to pass that knowledge on to a lot of the people that we run into, and it's really just kudos to them, man. Autism, honestly, it's also known as ASD, Autism Syndrome Disorder, and it is a oh my god, a neurodevelopmental condition of variable severity with lifelong effects that can be recognized from early childhood, chiefly characterized by difficulties with social interaction and communication, and by restricted or repetitive patterns of thought and behavior. So it's been interesting to learn so much about this, but it's also disturbing to see the lack of resources.
And it's not that there's a lack of resources, because it feels like if you dive nose deep into it, you're able to come across a lot of nuances and things you might have known before. But as far as physical places that you can go and research it, that doesn't exist to me. I don't see that at all, unless you're forwarded to a certain clinic or a professional. It's not broadband in your face as far as where you could go to get more research or knowledge on the topic.
Um, so when I say resources, it's more so like when you need to get an IEP done, when you need to get your kid into a school, it is not easily accessible, and the Board of Ed doesn't provide enough powers, enough specialists. So that's what I mean by lack of resources.
Oh, funds.
Yeah,
Apologies,
that too.
apologies.
Yeah, and then also all of the specialized schools are not located in urban neighborhoods. So if you live in like an urban neighborhood, you probably have to put your kid on a bus or drive for a pretty good distance to put them in a school that specializes in kids with special needs. So
Mm.
a lot of really disturbing things about it. And what I just read about today was a lot of commercial insurances like your Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield, GHI,
Mm.
they really pay trash as far as reimbursement for special needs care.
Like what's
But
the percentage?
huh?
Like 15%, 20%?
No, it's nowhere near. So, say Medicaid HMOs, like your Health First and your Fidelis, let's say they pay anywhere from $100 to 125.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably be lucky to get $50 from
Mm.
like Blue Cross Blue Shield or GHI, right?
Okay.
And I'm just throwing numbers out there, but the real actuality of it is that right now, Governor Kathy Hochul is really looking at the next budget to see how to approach this because
Mm-hmm.
now if you're a behavioral health clinic, you're trying to see all patients,
Yeah.
but you still have to stay afloat, right? You have your
Yes.
spend, you have to account for costs, and then on top of it, a lot of these patients end up in debt just trying to take care of themselves.
Yeah. Very true.
And if you think about it, if you're not approaching it from early childhood, like they have early intervention, and we'll have a live eventually where we talk more about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not able to be there for the kids and treat them at that age, you now leave them potentially to grow with this mental illness, and it can spiral into other things where it's going to cost them more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really hope the city figures out something to approach this.
Mm. Have you seen any action plans or tentative objectives on the way from the city trying to curb the amount of resources or better them to some extent?
From an insurance standpoint, it's tough
Mm-hmm.
because the payers are just going to be the payers. They're always going to find some loophole to say why they won't pay as much. They're not regulated like that. Um, as far as more teachers, more therapists, I don't blame them because, like you just mentioned, there's no funds. The
Yeah.
city, the city has to look at a better way to fund this stuff. A lot of the times, the schools are asking for the parents to donate write a letter to your, your local congressman, get them to raise the funding. So it'd be interesting to see what exactly they do, because
Yeah, they're
it's,
cutting libraries out here, so I got to
mm-hmm.
see where this money is being allocated to now.
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely, man.
wow. But yes, man, Autism Awareness Day, week, month. It's really an everyday thing, but this month is highlighted. You know what I mean, so
Yes.
shouts to everybody.